Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Welcome back to you.
Yes. I'm here where it is quote unquote kind of warm. I was in North Dakota. It was a wonderful trip. I got to spend some time with my son, up there with him and his element and everything. So it was very insightful. It was very cold. It snowed. We actually had a day's delay. So I was supposed to be home yesterday. My Sunday, but we got home late last night due to the icy conditions up there. So, but it was good. We had a good time. Folks there were like super friendly. He has already made himself at home, which I did not even have to worry about, or anything. So he's like in his own lane. He's like finding his way. He was working and everything. I told my brother, I said, don't stop his schedule, or anything because of us. Just carry on as normal. So, we did have, a good time. I cooked the whole weekend. They got some really good food, and everything. They were kind of missing that, but it was just good to be home, quote unquote home with them and everything. Right. And he'll be home, for Christmas. So I'm excited about that.
Well, I was excited to see that you're back. I try to do something by myself on Monday nights, right? But I'm always, my coach, Micah, is always telling me, Miss Shanae, you go too fast. So I was like, I need somebody to talk to. So I'm glad that you're back. Even though you had some time with your son and your dad, your brother and everything. I'm glad to have you back. Glad you're back safely. When you said it was snowing there, what did I send you? I was like, brrr. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I think the first day we got there, Wednesday, I think you guys were like, a Thursday, like I sent pictures of snow and everything. And I think, you guys were like, oh, it's 75 degrees here. Keep that there. No. Like it got down to like 2 and 3 degrees at nighttime. So, they get up to like 30, 40 below zero and everything.
Well, we'll get back to that because I got something for that. Okay, let me tell you.
All righty.
But let's do our introductions. I am Shanae, the realtor, your realtor, and this is
Cousin Chat. Oh, I am Shanae. The other half of Cousin Chat. Yes. I am the professional.
Yes.
Guys, I'm here to make sure, that you are credit worthy, credit ready for my focused individuals and also my focused business owners who are, ready to take things to the next level. Money talks, but credit holds a conversation, guys. And I'm ready for us to hold long conversations, okay?
And I have a conversation, but I just got a couple of conversations. You can't just go away like that. I know Juwan and them want to see you, but we got some conversations, okay?
I'm ready. So, bring it on.
For each of you all that have joined us, we thank you for joining us each and every Tuesday night here on Cousin Chat. And we appreciate you. And we know that you have joined because you have either found something in here that you found is valuable information to you or someone else. So at this time, if you know anyone that hasn't seen this or may have seen it, or maybe they need to see it, please, each one reach one. That means share this out wherever you can. We really appreciate it. And all the viewers that may, just benefit from this information. We're not just here to sell you a home and to get your credit straight, but to make sure that you live your life and your life more abundantly, right? And that's even us, even us. We have things that we're working on too as your realtor and your credit repair specialist. So few housekeeping things that we always like to do. We always like to shout out and welcome our guest. And Shanae, I'll let you go first. You have any?
I would like to shout out, first of all, Miss Fonzella Johnson, who has been a constant
All the time.
Viewer, yes, yes, yes. Hey, honey bun, thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you here every week with us. I would like to give a shout out to Shay Smith, to Erica Douglas, to Doreen Vincent Mitchell, and who else? China Smith we have as well. Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
And I'd like to thank Boo Jones for joining us, Joyce Maynard. Hi, Joyce. Zach McCray, John Stewart, Tawanda Lightbourne, and of course, anyone else that may not have raised their hand just yet. We thank you for joining us, and we'll check back and see who else has joined us during this time. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, you can dial into me to ask those questions, or you can raise your hand here on the show for us to bring you up so that we can talk to you live, okay? So we'll go back and we'll deal with more shout outs as they come in. But you said it was like 2 degrees there.
Yeah.
And I started out yesterday talking about winterizing, preparing your home for the winter.
Okay.
Have you turned your heat on yet?
I haven't. I have, like, when it first started getting cold and everything, but it hasn't been on in a while. Let me tell you, we actually, so none of our ceilings had fixtures, right?
Okay.
Our fixtures are controlled by the light switches, by the light switch, and it controls the outlet. So we've had lamps throughout our home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we had, some work done, some upgrades done. We had the guy to come in to cut through the ceilings and everything and put ceiling fans in all of the rooms.
Okay. So
the living room, the 2 bedrooms, my office, the dining room, and everything, right? The kitchen, everything. They, all have brand new ceiling fans. And, so we actually have had the ceiling fans on, I guess, because it's like a new toy and everything.
Okay.
And so
we'll talk about the ceiling fans too.
It hasn't really been any heat, but when I turn on the heat, the other half opens up the window. So I don't know how that works.
Well, when we're talking about winterizing, we even talked about ceiling fans. And so for me, I got the ultimate bone chill yesterday. I just was so cold. My feet were cold and my hands was cold. My arms was cold. So I bought me.
Oh, gosh.
I told you I got the perfect gift already. I just put my feet in here. It's nice and warm. It warms up. It's got settings that heat up, vibrate, and everything. So while I'm on Cousin Chat, if I fall asleep because the heat got to me, you know what happened. But in the meantime,
I understand.
I couldn't take my heat pad everywhere I go. So we started already. I turned the heat on yesterday. It got down to 68 degrees in here. And I was like, no more. So I went on and turned it on to like 71. So what a perfect time.
That's a good temperature.
Mm-hmm.
71 is good. Because that's the year I was born in. Really?
I was born in 2000.
Okay.
So anyway, we started talking about winterization and everything and winterizing your home and things like that. And so some of the first things, just to back up on what I said yesterday, since Micah says I talk so fast. We talk about weatherizing and using the weather stripping. It's very inexpensive. It comes on, looks like a roll of tape, and you can use that to help seal out drafts and things from your home, around your doors and things. Also, we talked about door puppets, those little things. They look like a dog or cat, and you can put them down at the door sweep and to help keep drafts from coming in, or install a door sweep at your door, replace the stripping on it, whatever you need to do, and recaulk, and even install insulated curtains that keep the cold air out and the warm air in, right?
Yeah.
And those are real inexpensive. You could go to Home Depot. I think I got mine from Home Depot. But if you go to Bed Bath & Beyond and you take that 20% coupon, that 20% make a big difference.
It make a big difference, right?
Yes, it does. But in regards to ceiling fans, right? We buy the ceiling fans that help us cool off, but there is a winter and a summer setting on there.
I noticed on my remote that it was like, have it go one way, oscillate one way, to bring the heat up, and oscillate the other way to bring the cold air down and stuff. And I was like, okay.
Yes.
Back in the day, we didn't have, the remote controls on the ceiling fans. It was like the little click switch and, the dangles and everything. So,
Exactly.
now that, it can control the lights, it can control everything. I'm just like, okay.
Absolutely. And so even I have little remote here also. And but with the ceiling fan, it goes clockwise for the winter setting. That's a good way to know, because you can't always see it and everybody may not have the remote, but you want to put that on your winter setting and on low, and it'll go clockwise, and it'll bring that warm air that warms up into the ceiling. It'll bring it down to the floor, the space where everybody is at.
Okay.
And
clockwise is winter.
Clockwise. And then we talked about the HVAC unit. We want to make sure that the HVAC unit has been serviced, it's been cleaned. That helps prolong the life of the HVAC. It helps to make sure any dust, allergens, or mold spores are in there and don't build up in your system. So that helps prolong the life of the HVAC unit. Yep, you're putting all this down, right? So, and change your filters regularly. You can get on auto ship. My husband has things on auto ship. You can get on auto ship and have them delivered. Just make sure you got the sizes right. Don't try and wash them off and reuse them or anything. Just get another one and change them, your unit. I know the newer units now tell you when to change it. Now, coming up, we had radiator heat. And I think in Baltimore, Aunt Shay had radiator heat, and Cula, some of them. They had radiator heat up there in the row houses, brownstones and everything. And so I remember my mother going through the house and bleeding the radiators.
Mm-hmm. My grandmother, we had radiator heat. We had all heat starting out. And she converted the all heat, to electric, but she kept the radiators. So kept the radiators. So we converted.
And I can remember as a kid, it'd be so cold. I come in from school, I would turn the heat way up, so it would heat up, and then I'd be trying to cool the radiators off in the house before she came home. Yeah. But you want to make sure your HVAC unit and your radiators, if that's what you have, or your oil, you want to make sure those things are properly maintained. And then we talked about the temperature of the house. And I told you it got to be 68 degrees in here. Well, they suggest that when nobody is home, that you should have your unit on 68. And it's a good temperature for sleeping. Now, I was freezing cold during that time, but do what's best for you. 68 meant I had to take it up to 71. So, and I do notice that when I go to sleep at night, right around 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't know if Pepco, BG&E, whoever it is, if they decide to do what they want to do, but sometimes even in the summer, you got to kick the covers off by then and definitely turn that fan on. But to continue with that, as the season changes and the leaves fall, and maybe you didn't get out there to clean your gutters before, even in the spring, debris, dirt coming into your gutters, keeping your gutters clean to make sure that it's able to be, the water's able to pass through so it doesn't take and clog up and you get ice in your gutters. Yes. And then it'll take and cause you roof damage, cause you to have to get your gutters replaced and things like that. So you want to make sure that that's done. And then protect your pipes. Some people buy this little foam and they put it around their pipes to make sure they insulate the pipes, things like that. If you have pipes that's on maybe in your garage where it gets cold, things like that, you want to protect your pipes and keep your faucets and things, closed. But one thing you want to do is turn that water that's going to the outside from where you've been washing your cars, check your utility closet or where it is in your house, but you want to take and drain those pipes this time of year. Okay. And I'm telling you, you don't have to do it like right now, but you need to set a date because it's cold. So drain those pipes, turn your hose bib that's in your utility room, turn it off, and then go to the outside of your house and drain all of the water out of that bib because you don't want that pipe to freeze. And when it freezes, it busts it and, cause damage in your house. And that's drywall repair and everything. So, and if you're a person that travels or you have a summer home or a winter home and you're not going to be here during the winter, you're going to go somewhere else, have your neighbors or somebody check on your house to make sure that those things are taken care of and your pipes haven't burst. I had a client that moved into a house. They transferred over. The older people did not realize that because this had been a rental home. So they didn't change or turn it on.
Anything.
And when the client moved in on January 17th, 2 days later, the pipes burst.
Yeah.
So they were new homeowners. They had to go through all of that. And, it's not a pretty picture. And that was an expensive picture for first-time home buyer. So
that was an expensive, ugly picture.
Yes. And so, that right now we got leaves and things that are falling. And this can cause a issue for, Mr. Hanshaw, please don't call me right now. This can cause an issue because people can slip and fall, or when the ice comes, this could cause another thing for ice buildup and things on your sidewalk. So you want to keep your sidewalk and driveway and steps clear because we don't want those types of accidents. And then this is a good time to test your smoke detectors. We're cooking more, even though this year we were home and we cooked a lot on the grill and things like that. But in the wintertime, you're surely cooking on the inside and, you're tired. The time is changing and things like that. So you want to check your smoke detectors, make sure they're working properly. If they're not, get you some batteries. And I think this time of year, you can even go to your local fire department.
Okay.
To get they usually are passing out smoke detectors. So that's something that you want to do. And we talked about the hose. Bring that water hose in. Just bring it in because when you bring it in, I think that's like an automatic reminder that you need to check that hose bib. So make sure you drain it, bring it in, things like that. And so we want to keep things running efficiently. Chimney, fireplaces, have them clean. Even if you don't have a fireplace, you may still have a chimney. So you can contact companies to come out and service and clean that as well. So that's just my little tip as we prepare for the wintertime and keep it warm. And if y'all want my little foot secret right here, I'll send it to you. But I'm using it right now. I love this thing. It's doing its job.
As long as it's working, then it was worth every penny of it, okay?
Every penny. And I use the coupon. So
I know that's right. It's nothing wrong with coupon, okay?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So stay tuned. We'll have more tips coming for winterizing. If you have any questions, or maybe you'd like to have someone come out and check your system, you may want me to refer you to someone, just give me a call, please. Or you can also send me a message and I'll send you more information. Okay?
Woo, woo. Yes, indeed. Especially, I remember living with my grandmother in Baltimore City, and it was time to winterize the house. Like, we would have to go get rid of the summer curtains, put them, wash, iron, and fold those, put those up, and then we brought out those big, heavy curtains that had like the backing on them that I felt was like, plastic or whatever, but it was, to keep the cold, from coming in. We used to get the plastic and tape it up, to the windows, and
everything. You can see the air like
Exactly,
So,
exactly. And my grandmother, that was a frugal sister there, honey. So we didn't go and get like, the cute, fancy like door stoppers. No, we took a kitchen rug and rolled it up
roll
by
it up.
and stuff that there, and everything
That's a good
else.
project right now for the kids to do that, right?
Yeah,
They can make some kind of little door puppet. That would be a good thing. They could make
or
a door puppet.
something. Yeah, or
Mm-hmm.
something. But yes, indeed. And it just, that was just the routine. We got ready for the spring. We had spring cleaning. It was time to get the house ready, air it out and
Right.
everything. And you get ready for the winter. So it's things like that that we brought along, with us and everything, things that make me miss my childhood. It brings back happy memories of my childhood and everything. So it was like, we didn't realize what we were doing, or what they were doing. They were actually preparing us for, adulthood, to be able to take care of our own homes and to teach our children and everything. So, I'm forever grateful, for my grandmother. I grew up in a house with my great grandmother, great grandfather, grandmother, mother, and down a block away were my father's parents. So, I was surrounded by nothing but wisdom. So thank you, guys.
Look, but tell me this, you don't miss bringing those clothes in off the line or hanging them, do you?
No, but you know what my grandmother did? We had a clothesline outside, but we also had one. We had like 4 in the basement. So when we got, after we washed or whatever, I could just hang them up, on that down the basement. I didn't have to take my clothes outside, and put them on the line, unless it was something that I was getting ready to go to that night and I had to wash. And I was like, let this hang outside, let the breeze come through, because we had a dryer. But once that sucker broke, like time and time again, we didn't have American Home Shield and all of that back then. My grandmother was like, you know what, a clothesline is just as good, and it saves you, electricity. So that's what we used. We used to take our clothes off of the line and fold them up and put them on the dryer.
It's like having a dishwasher but never using it, right?
Let me tell you, I don't use my dishwasher. My dishwasher is full of snacks. I hand wash dishes. I put all of my chips and snacks and cookies and everything in my dishwasher.
In the dishwasher?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because that way it doesn't take up my cabinet space. And it's not like sitting up on a refrigerator. So people that know me know when they want a snack, the grandkids, anybody, when they want a snack, they come get it out the dishwasher.
Yes, we are cousins, but I don't do that. I use my dishwasher. I mainly use it to dry dishes. And that's only because I get frustrated with getting dishwashers that always leave something on the dishes, right? So, and I don't think that if I bought a bigger one, more powerful one, or anything that it would make a difference. I've always had that issue, and I can't stand washing dishes. So to that point,
see, I wash and use my dish. Now, what I hate is putting the dishes away. So I will like I'll have a mountain of dishes, and I will strategically put a big pot or something so that it will not fall over. No. And then that's it.
So shout out to my cousin Veronica Gordon, who put on her timeline one time. She talked about, and we get kind of off subject, but she talked about what the value of paper plates, right? But paper plates can be really expensive to keep replacing. But I tell you what, when you don't like washing dishes, it's a good thing.
It's a good investment. It's just a good investment. You can cut costs somewhere else. It's an excellent investment. So, yeah.
So, what do you have for us?
Well, what I want to talk about just a little bit is a medical credit card. What exactly is, a medical, credit card? How it helps you, what it affects and everything else. The most commonly known is the CARE credit card and everything. And so what I like about the medical credit card is that, if you have to have like emergency surgery, that your medical, insurance won't cover or something like that, then it is definitely, a good thing, to have. It's just like a credit card. It has a set limit that, you have been approved for. It does go based upon your credit score. So they will check your credit just like they would a regular major credit card. The difference is you can only use it for medical circumstances. But you can also use, I know, the care card if your animal has a medical condition. You can also use the care card, the care credit card for them as well. So, you still have to be, very responsible with medical, credit card, because it still affects your credit and your credit report the same exact way. If you pay it and you do what you're supposed to do, it's actually beneficial for you. It will help you. It'll help to raise your score if you maintain, your payments and everything else, and you don't your DTI, your debt to income ratio, too high. Then everything, will be fine if you use it responsibly. If you don't use it responsibly, it's going to happen the same way as if you don't use a regular credit card the same way, or if you don't pay your loan off the same way. Now, it can help you to generate a higher score also because it is considered to be a revolving credit card. So a revolving credit helps to build your credit a little bit faster than an installment loan. And with that, the reason why is because your monthly payment can differ because it is a revolving card. It's not an installment loan like your mortgage or your car payment. Every month what your mortgage payment is. Every month what your car payment is. However, with revolving credit, your Visa, your Care card, or whatever, you don't know what your monthly minimum balance, payment will be because you're probably using it. So it could, fluctuate. And so you have to treat it as such. Before you decide to get a medical credit card, for your expenses, you definitely, need to consider the things that you would use it for. And just like with any regular credit card, if you don't use it for a certain amount of time, they will revoke that line of credit, which in the long run could really hurt you because that amount of available credit that you used to have, is no longer there. So you want to be strategic. You want to be smart. You want to be responsible, with it as well. We don't want to go out here and get, the BBLs, the big booty Judies, the stomach tucks or whatever, and then once you get snatched, then it's like, okay, the hell with that credit card. I'm not paying that bill. It's going to come back and bite you right in the rump. Okay. So you definitely want, to be responsible. But say, for instance, if, you didn't take advantage of your employers, or if your employer does not offer, the flex spending, option or something like that, then a care credit card or a medical credit card could be helpful to you if you have to have, surgery, dental work, eyeglasses, anything, medical is. So it could definitely, help you if you can't take advantage of that. Medical credit cards, and they can have, a deferred interest payment and everything, where so it's like you pay the, same as cash, which you might definitely want to take a look into, because if you can use the credit card and you use it responsibly, and then you have a certain amount of time to pay it off before you're charged any interest, then that's something that you definitely want to look into. You definitely want to take advantage of, where so you're truly paying for the cost of your services, and not the additional, interest or anything. So your payments are truly going to paying off the credit card itself, the actual debt, and not the interest that they tacked on, to it. So you definitely, want to look into some things. You definitely want to do, some research and everything.
Okay.
Some of the pros and cons of having a medical credit card. One of the pros is it's definitely quick access, to available credit, for different things in emergency. As I have stated time and time again, it could help you out, with your medical co-pays and things like that, when you're going, to the doctors. If you have some deductibles that you may have to meet, depending upon what kind of, health insurance plan you have and everything else, it's not just for you. You can use it for other family members. So like with me and my son, I took advantage of, the flex spending, and they give you, a credit card logo, type of debit card that they put, your funds on, as there's, extracting them from your paycheck. But it wasn't, even though the card was in my name, I was able to help out a few family members. So, that's when I would go take my son, to get his new glasses and things like that. My dad needed it for an emergency surgery, at one point in time, for the simple fact that his medical insurance didn't cover the emergency surgery, that he needed to have several extractions, in his mouth, from his mouth. And he was like, going to put it off until he got the cash. However, I was able to, extend my FlexSpend card, to him. Had I had, a medical credit card, I would have been able to still, do the same. So it does help out, different people in your family. It's not just, limited to you or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But you still, no matter what you do, no matter whom you help out with it, you still want to be responsible. Because had it been a medical credit card that I let my dad use, for his emergency surgery, you have to understand that no matter who you extend it to, it is ultimately your responsibility. Now, if that person, you make an arrangement with that person, they say, okay, I'm going to pay you back, or, something like that, that's fine. And if they don't pay you back, you still need to pay that bill. Okay? You still need to pay your bills. You don't want to let, a $500 debt or what have you that somebody was supposed to, pay and they didn't. And you say, well, I'm not paying it. You're not ruining their credit. You're ruining your credit. So you want to think responsible. You want to act responsible. You definitely want to be, responsible no matter what it is, especially if it's tied to you. If your name and your social security number is tied to it, you definitely want to consider all of your options before extending, any type of assistance or whatever. You want to consider everything. That's just like, somebody told me a while ago, you only loan out the money that you don't expect to receive. You know what I'm saying? So if you're like hard, pressed for cash, somebody loans you some money and say, okay, I'm going to give it back to you, in 2 weeks and everything. Of course you want your money back, but you really only loan out the money that, you never really expect to see back. That way, if they come up short or if they don't come up or whatever, you're not placed in a bind yourself. And that's the same thing, with this extending yourself to help somebody out, even as an authorized user, although, I'm getting off a, subject and everything. Some of the cons with having a medical credit card is depending upon how, what big, how much you use or what, what's the big, surgery or the medical expense. You may or you may not be able to pay it off doing that, if you get the deferred, interest promotion. So you want to look, into that as well also. And you may, depending upon, you want to see like what the interests are, what's your other options, because there are, like I said, flex spend plans, and then even a regular credit card. A regular credit card, depending upon what your limit is, what your interest rate is, can be used for any and everything. So if you can use a medical credit card for it, then you definitely can use a general, credit card as well. So you may have a better interest rate with your regular credit card. You may have more of a limit. You may have more flexibility. So, it's things that you want to look, definitely into it before, going, gun ho into using the medical credit card just because you were approved for it, or it is an option or whatever, because that is another bill that you have to remember that you have to pay off and everything. And you definitely want to do with anything, you want to read the fine print and the different terms. And actually, one of the topics I'm going to talk about on the upcoming Cousin Chat is reading the fine print and knowing exactly what you're signing up for when you are approved from these various credit cards. Because a $2,000 credit limit may sound like hey, I've hit the jackpot. However, you're really only supposed to spend a certain amount of that $2,000 credit limit, really no more than $600. I would like my clients to actually keep it lower. However, what is your interest rate on that $2,000? Like, how much are you paying back? How do you calculate the interest? What's going to interest? What's actually going, to your payment? I'm going to give you guys a deeper dive into that in the various credit cards and what they're really, saying, when you sign on that dotted line or when they, approve you for, different limits and everything.
Okay. So in regards, just asking, because I had a call this week, and that's why I was like, missed you this week. I have a person who they have a voucher, but I really need you all to understand this. As much as I want to help you all, I'm not the bank. I'm not the one that makes that final decision, whether it be for a rental or for a loan. And so a client has voucher, but the credit score is really low. And not only is the credit score low, but they have medical bills that are showing up on their credit report. Okay. And so again, the importance of making sure that we take care of those things, because we don't know when we're going to get into a situation where, like now, this client has to move because the owner of the home wants to sell the house, and now she's trying to find a property.
Right.
And, it's nothing that I can do. And so there was the question, well, if the voucher is going to pay for the housing, what difference does her credit make? So I'm not the decision maker. I'm not, contact the provider of your voucher, ask them those questions, but ultimately a homeowner has the right to decide whether they want to rent out to you or not. Yeah. And that's the way they're doing it. They are looking at your credit score, and usually they don't want it to be anything under 600. Even though we're in a pandemic now, even though there are plenty of people that don't have good credit, but there are people with vouchers also that do have good credit. So to your point, the importance of taking care of even a doctor bill in this case was being reported. Now, a lot of times people think that, the doctor bill won't hurt them, but it does, because they're reporting it every month. They're sending it off to collection agencies now.
That's it. And so it is, different, things regarding like your medical and everything, and different violations that it may or may not be, touching upon being, reported on your credit and everything. However, anything that is sent to collections, regardless if it's a medical bill, if it's a regular bill or anything, what it does is it tells the creditors and the potential creditors that this person was not responsible enough to pay their bills during the time that they were supposed to pay it in that 30-day time frame. When it goes to collections, it's because it has been unpaid for anywhere between 120 days to 180 days. And so then, a collection agency, a collection person, someone purchases your debt, even though the original creditor has wrote it off on their taxes as a loss. So they have been, quote unquote, kind of made whole from the situation, from them taking, the loss. So they were able to write it off on their books.
Right.
But for you as the individual, as the consumer, it just tells them, the potential creditor that, Shanae wasn't responsible enough to pay her debt. It was actually sent to collections, the original creditor or the collection agency. It doesn't matter who they see have it, but they know that you did not pay your bill when you were supposed to pay your bill. And so it lets them know that, this person isn't responsible. So if I extend them credit, how do I know that they're going to pay me?
Even if it is about you, because there are other things that are associated with the property. You're talking about utilities. And unfortunately, as it tells a story, they may even be concerned about, how well you'll take care of their home. So
right. And so Arlene Bruckner has a question. She wants to know, should people pay off collections to increase their credit score? No. And the reason why I say no is because when you pay a collection agency, you're not paying the actual creditor, although they know they have been made whole. When you pay a collection agency, then you're actually paying someone that had nothing to do with the original debt. The original debt is between you and the original creditor. If you want to pay that debt, you need to reach back out to that original creditor and set up a payment plan or set up something with the original creditor. When you pay it from the original creditor, then that negates the collection agency reporting, and it will have the debt to fall, the collection account will be removed from your credit because you have actually paid for the original creditor. And what you want to do is when you talk to the original creditor, see if it's some way that, I pay this debt and you remove the whole account from my credit report, or, you list it as paid as agreed or paid in full. Because when you pay a collection, the collection company does not have the ability to remove the collection from your account. It's going to go from collection account to paid collection account. And a paid collection account does not do anything to increase your score. The only thing it does is, in my opinion, it alleviates funds from your pocket. Your score is still the same. Now, when you have something removed from the collection, when you have the collection removed, once you dispute it, you can have the collection removed because they have to prove validity that they actually should be able to collect from you. When they can't prove the validity, then it will, fall off of your credit report. Now, that's not saying that you don't still owe that debt to whomever it was, whomever the original creditor was. So Comcast, Verizon, or whomever you didn't pay, you can then reach back out again to them and, pay, your debt. And it will be like such a small amount that you can go ahead and pay it, and you can, quote unquote, clear your record with the original creditor. But never do I suggest paying a collection account off, because it does not do anything to help your score. FICO does not even consider collections when making up your score, paid collection or not. The Vantage scoring system that is used by Credit Karma and, other companies like that, they give you credit for paying a collection, but not FICO. I hope that helps you. If not, call Darlene.
The other thing that happened while you were gone, a lot of people say that they want to buy a house, but the choices that they're making right now, whether it's with unemployment, funds that came up from stimulus or whichever, you could use those funds to help repair your credit right now. And another person, they purchased some red bottom shoes and they can't buy a house. Now, would you make your choices to purchase? That's on you. But you cannot get upset with the loan officer because you cannot get a loan or you can't get the down payment assistance. And so, let's make some wise decisions. Even myself, I've been, there's sometimes
it's
bad things, but hey, some of these name brands or these name brand products and things that are out here, they made their money and they're still making money off of us. So let's put ourselves in a position where we can be on the other side of that. The cars and all of those things, they depreciate. A house will take
biggest investment.
It's your biggest investment. So, and I know we see all these cars getting souped up in the rims and all that kind of stuff, but a car still depreciates. My son recently bought a car. He had some issues with the car already, brand new off the lot. And when he told them, okay, well, y'all take that one back. And they were like, oh, you're upside down. You would be so badly upside down.
Yeah.
And, that's heartbreaking as a mom. I can't go in there and say, you take this back right now. Right. But let's just make sure that we make some wise decisions, especially during this season. I'm watching Judge Judy earlier today and seeing the guy that was on there. He had got some money to be able to stay in this place, but he wasn't paying the rent. There's just a lot of things that's happening. So let's make wise choices, you guys, because having a roof over your head is very important. And that's whether you're going to rent or buy. It's just so heartbreaking not to be able to help this person. And it's nothing I can do. I can't argue the point. I can't make any changes for her. So, let's be careful. Real quick, do a shout out to Ken Foote. Thank you for joining us. Vincent Brown, thank you for joining us. David Brown Sr., thank you for joining us. Wayne McDowell, thank you for joining us. And you said hi to Arlene.
Yeah.
So, those are some big deals. If you all have any questions, you want to call in, ask a question, please feel free to do so. We're always available for you. Let's see. Oh, Chanel Mason. Hi. Thank you for calling, checking in. Bill Harper. Thank you. Chris C. Note Nickens. You'll hear more from him real soon.
Okay.
In our November lineup. So be ready for that. I'm excited about it. Bill Harper. I said, Bill, hi. Fredisha. Fredisha Harnett is with us. Hi, Fredisha. So thank you very much for joining us. And if you'd like to reach us, guess what?
Wow.
Your B-Day, your birthday accommodations and things like that. We can't forget that.
Yes.
I got, come on.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm definitely excited. Like I said, 1971 is a wonderful, wonderful year. Next year, that will mark my 50th birthday. And I'm old school, so we're doing Hawaii 50. Shanae's 50th is in Hawaii. It's my fab 50th birthday. If anybody, is interested, they want to come. My sister-in-law is a wonderful, wonderful travel agent, Nakia Pompey. She is actually putting everything, has put everything together. We have a link available for you to go and find out information, room information. You can also make your deposit. $100 secures your spot, whether it's an ocean view or it is a, what is it called? An ocean view and a scenic view. I don't remember, but every view is definitely, available. We leave June of next year. As you can see, I am a proud Gemini. So June the 15th through the 19th is my wonderful, wonderful Hawaii vacation / trip, my birthday getaway. I would love as many positive, happy people to come out, and enjoy this time with us, in the tropics. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. If anybody has any questions, feel free to just leave some information in the chat and I will get back to you. I'll send you the link and also include you in the exclusive birthday invite.
Okay. And we'll be there for sure. So make sure you do all your corona testing and things like that. Anything you need to do, make sure you stay healthy during this time so that you can surely join us. And let's see. Shanae, let them know how they can reach you for your credit.
You can definitely reach me, guys. I offer a 30-minute complimentary consultation. As you can see, I have just recently been joined by my co-host, my twin, Sincere Goodman. So if I was a boy, guys, this is what I would look like as a boy. This is my twin. He has my whole face. But you can definitely reach me for a 30-minute complimentary consultation. You can text your name and the words complimentary consultation to 443-973-7555, and I will send you the scheduling link so that you can get your one-on-one time with me. During that consultation, we will go over your 3 credit reports in depth. I will let you know what's on your credit report, what is it saying about you, what you need to look for, what's missing. We can devise a game plan, and if you decide to move forward, where so you would, like my assistance for you reaching excellent credit, then I would be more than happy, to assist you. And again, my number is 443-973-7555. You can also reach me on all social media platforms at The Professional Credit Diva. And you can also email me if you have any questions at info@professionalcreditdiva.com. And I would love for you to check out my website at theprofessionalcreditdiva.com.
Well, thank you. Hi, Sincere. And as for me, your realtor, I am always happy to be with you every Monday and Tuesday. Monday nights, I'm on here at 8 p.m. and I'm going to do my best to slow it down to be able to talk to you and talk about real issues with Shemay Smith on Real Talk. So that's every Monday at 8 p.m. And then on Tuesdays, of course, we have Cousin Chat. So we're back here again at 8 p.m. But you can also find me on social media at C. Smith Properties, LLC, and on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Realtor Shemay Smith. And my website is www.Shemay.SamsonProperties.net. So we'll post that up and you'll be able to see that. And of course, it's always on all of my pages. You can always text or call me at 202-709-7989. And you can also reach me here on Facebook Messenger anytime. So if there's something that you'd like to see us talk about, please write us, call us. We'd love to bring you on. And if you have a topic that you'd like to be able to discuss with us, unfortunately, we could not bring one of our guests on because we're now at the end of the show. But we are happy to entertain your questions on next week, or you can always write or call us. So until next time, you all have a good evening. Stay safe and stay warm. I will be.
Me too. Now that I'm away from North Dakota.
Okay, you can't have my foot warmer though.
I know that's right. I'm gonna have to invest in one. Well, next time I go, it'll be summertime. So
okay.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.